Hello and welcome to episode 67 of the Special Moves podcast. My name is Mike Williams and this is Liam McKelvey and Jake Kulkowski.
Hey gamers.
How's it going? Good?
Yeah,
Everyone?
it is good, you know.
Suppose.
It is good.
Suppose from Liam.
Yeah, Liam's
good from
a
Jake.
bit ill. Like.
I'm quite nasally at the minute.
Yeah.
You can't tell.
You've been ravaged by 2020 so far. Haven't you?
I've no joke. I've been ill constantly for a month now.
And if you want to do a joke, and you're going to do a coronavirus joke, we've already heard it.
Yeah,
It's already been done.
Yeah.
I've heard it from family, friends, everyone.
And also, if he does die, you'll feel really bad. So
Yeah,
save
so
yourself.
don't risk it.
Yeah.
Please, my life's on the line here.
Yeah. Played any
Starting off with an
games?
appeal. Please.
Played any games, lads?
Not anything new. I've been deep diving into the backlog this week.
Yeah,
so I doubt
really deep.
I doubt anyone cares, to be honest.
What was
Cracking
it?
the
Come on, we gotta
backlog.
know.
All right, so I'll do 3 because that's all I've really played.
Oh, go on, and just the 3.
Just 3. I will be GTA San Andreas.
Good, yeah, cool.
Because I never actually finished it on the PS2. So I went back this time, and I've finished the game now. I can
From the beginning, or
from the beginning, yeah.
fuck?
Like
Nice.
when it came out on PS2, I never finished it. I got to the Vegas rip-off,
Yeah.
and then I think I got to a mission. Actually, I remember what mission it was. It's the one where you have to do the casino heist. But
Oh,
I
yeah,
couldn't figure out how to get the key card because
Okay.
the woman you have to take on a date was never home. So I thought
Yeah.
it was a bug, and I just gave up on the game. Then.
It's a bit Ocean's 11, isn't it? All that stuff. Isn't
Little
it?
bit,
They
yeah.
consciously try and do a bit of,
But I did that. I finished it, and it's good. It does hold up.
Fuck, I love it, man. I that destroyed my personal life when I was, so I can't remember when it came out, but I was a
would
while
say,
afterwards.
Is it
2005, I think. 4 or
something like
5.
that. Yeah.
And I would say I was probably at least a year later that I got it, and I just
Like-
completely. I didn't care about
I was
going
just
out to
trying
play
do-
football or
I
any
was
of that
just doing
stuff.
BMX jumps on it the whole time.
I will say
Yeah.
it has got some of the most aggravating missions in a game ever, though.
Right, okay.
Like, if everyone remembers the RC plane stuff.
Yeah.
The controls that don't work.
I can imagine it has aged badly in general.
The
Yeah.
controls
with
are a
that
bit
stuff,
dodgy. Like, I played with a massive mod pack installed on Steam, though, which fixed a load of bugs that were, never fixed originally.
Expect nothing less, Liam. Expect nothing less.
But yeah, that
probably
was good.
Rezzed up the textures and all that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
he was a big mod, but a lot of that is nice quality of life. I like it. It's
Yeah,
like,
It was
they're,
good
they're
stuff.
good. Quality of life stuff is actually.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
that's the mods I believe in. You know?
yeah.
This mod pack actually made bits of the game harder, though, weirdly enough.
Oh,
Do you know,
yeah?
like the dancing mini game?
Yeah.
The timing and that had to be so precise
Right. Yeah.
for that one mission. And that was a change I saw in the change log of this mod pack.
Oh,
there's,
really?
There's
Yeah.
a Star Wars RTS Empire at War, right? So that,
Great game.
I think we talked about it last week, actually, weirdly.
Yeah.
But there's a mod for that, and it's the game itself is all set in the original trilogy kind of era of Star Wars, and then there's a mod that gives you like a load of Clone Wars stuff, Clone Wars campaign, Clone Wars art, and it looks amazing. Like when you're playing they're doing the space battles and stuff, it's really good. It's like really good Clone Wars stuff. Except it's really fucking hard. Like for some reason, the modders were just assumed, well, whoever's going to use this has played the game loads.
It's already hardcore player.
And
Yeah,
and
of
just
course.
like there's no way to like make it
Yeah.
any easier because the AI's been like knocked up to about plus
So they've
20
made
or
it for
something.
themselves, really.
So you're just getting annihilated on all fronts. So it's fun for about 3 or 4 hours until you just realise that you can't win. But that was my little aside. What else you played?
So truly the crown jewel
This
here,
is.
007 Legends on the PS3.
I'd never even heard of it. It sounds like a mobile game.
I
doesn't
can't.
it?
Yeah, I
So,
can't.
I
bring it
think
to mind.
if I remember, it has like a 40 on Metacritic, and I paid like £3 for it or something
Okay.
like a while ago,
Yeah.
and it was the first game.
So it's about
in the
£1.30. £1.30 per 10 score on Metacritic.
Pretty much, yeah. But so it was. They remade GoldenEye for the Wii,
All right.
and then
Yeah.
that got remade in HD on the PS3 and 360. And then this 007 Legends is from the same developers, but you can tell they were just like, we've got to get this out in time for Skyfall.
Okay.
Right.
And it feels like it. Like about halfway through the game, you can tell they were just like, we've just got to get it out the door.
What
Yeah.
is it? Like, is it like
It's first person shooter.
But is it just like its own story, or is it like a adaptation of one of the older films or something?
So what it does is it takes Daniel Craig's Bond, his likeness, not his
Yeah.
voice though. He didn't lend his voice to the game.
Okay.
They make that explicitly clear in
Yeah.
the credits.
I can see why it's a 40. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it reimagines the classic Bond films. Well, a few of them. I think it's Goldfinger, sorry.
Yeah.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service, Die Another Day, Moonraker.
Oh, so quite a few, I guess.
Yeah, and they're like There's one more. I can't remember what it is. It doesn't matter.
It's probably for the best.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so they reimagine them, but like in a modern setting. And what if it was Daniel Craig's James Bond, who instead of like Sean Connery, Roger Moore.
The concept's
cool.
cool.
It's not.
It's a cool concept.
Yeah.
Execution is not.
I reckon if you made a James Bond game that was built a bit like Hitman, and they were just different scenarios, and they were just that kind of gameplay as well, almost, really.
Yeah.
That's what James Bond does, isn't it?
Well,
you need a bit of driving in there, though.
Yeah.
There is a bit of driving in this one, but the controls are absolutely broken.
Okay. Well, that's
Every level has to have a mini bar.
yeah.
It is basic. This 007 Legends is basically a Call of Duty clone.
Oh,
It
really?
might as well be. It has
Okay.
the exact same control scheme and everything.
Yeah.
But if you don't remember, the way they update it is very Call of Duty-ish as well. Like if you don't remember at the end of Goldfinger, where James Bond and a team of Marines assault Fort Knox
Yeah.
and stop the plan to steal all the gold from.
Very Call of Duty also brings to mind, sudden betrayals by, people who are suddenly revealed to be Russian.
Sleeper agents the whole time.
Yeah, they've been your ally all the way through, and then they turn around and shoot you in the head.
I remember License to Kill's the other one.
That's it. Yeah. Okay.
Oh God, that one saw the light of day.
Yeah.
So, you played anything else there?
And so I broke out the Vita as well, and I won't recall the sad story again. Memory card died. That's all. That's all you need to know. So I had to reinstall all my games on it, and but I've been playing Soul Sacrifice, which is a sort of Monster Hunter-like game.
Right.
Probably one of the better games on the Vita, or the more like sung about games. Anyway, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I played it for, I think, almost 10 hours now.
Cool.
And I only started it like 2 days ago.
So putting in the work.
Hammering it then.
Yeah, and it's but I've never seen a game that has more like systems on top of game mechanics on top of more game systems, and then it doesn't explain anything to you because it uses its own terminology for everything.
Yeah,
but it's fun. It's like an action RPG.
Okay.
And
is it on other platforms? Because I think I've seen that.
No, it's stuck on the Vita forever.
I think I've seen
I've
the
at least
name.
heard it. That's what I mean.
I can't remember who owns the IP. It might be Sony who own it.
Oh, okay. It's
But
weird because it's weirdly familiar.
Very, very generic and seems familiar, or I've seen it before. And
It's very dark fantasy. You play as like a sorcerer who's been captured, and you read like it's basically the Necronomicon, like a book that talks to you, and you relive the memories of dead sorcerers to gain their power, so you can fight the ultimate sorcerer at the end of the game.
Sounds good. Sign me up for that.
It's a good concept. It's all about like your attacks are like blood offerings and stuff like that. You can only use them a certain amount of times.
Cool.
And then if you want to renew them, you have to sacrifice like a trash mob you kill in the arena and stuff like that. Or if you need health, you save the soul of that creature you just killed and it'll give you a health boost.
Sacrificing souls and stuff.
Very cool concept. Like, it's just a shame it's sort of stuck on the Vita forever.
Yeah.
Like, it could
Sounds
do.
alright, though.
If a sequel came out on like PS5 or whatever, I'd buy it, It's
it seems like they could make it work and make it, and it would be a bit of like a classic Sony move almost, and bring an IP like that, and then there'll be a hardcore of fans who are like, oh my God, I can't believe
they did do it once with Gravity Rush.
Yeah,
and no one bought Gravity Rush 2.
I remember that.
Yeah, sad that because it's a great game.
Reset era were livid.
They were.
Yeah, I never played it.
It's great, Gravity Rush. That's about all I've played.
Just those three things. That's cool. What have you done, Jake?
I'm playing like a lot of Runeterra.
Runeterra.
Like Legends of Runeterra.
Yeah. So we've done a video on this if you haven't seen it. If you are listening to this podcast and you're not watching, we've got a YouTube channel on that. You can watch the podcast on there, but you can also watch a video where Jake tells you in some depth about Legends of Runeterra, which you've been enjoying.
Yeah. It's been good, I'm playing it ranked, and I'm on silver now, so that's good.
Sounds good. I don't know what it means, but
it's not like
sounds
so
positive.
like normally ranked games of like games with ranked leagues or ranked sort of tables have two ways of working, and one is like you do a couple of placement matches, and then it determines your skill based on that and puts you in a league, and then you're kind of stuck on that league for the remainder of the season. Or the second one is like more accumulative, and you all start off in tin league. And then when you keep winning and winning and winning, and you level up through the tin league, and then you get to bronze league, silver, gold, diamond,
which
master.
is the kind where you kind of have to keep playing to.
That's more like the one I was mentioning at the beginning. So like, you can get knocked down from like silver to bronze if you don't play.
If you're inactive and.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas this isn't. So I don't know how long the season is. I think it's until launch. So there's I'll probably be like in diamond or platinum at least by the time it's on.
Confident.
Yeah, like, it's nothing to me at the moment. I'm smashing it. Do you know what I'm doing? I'm being very sneaky, you know. Like, I am looking online at what decks.
So it's a card game.
Yeah, it's a card game. It's a card game, and the meta is rife. So and I know there's a lot of people that are going on it. So I'm googling like what decks are popular, what decks are popping off. Yeah, looking at them, thinking like if I was like a 15-year-old that wanted to win, what's the first thing I'd go for? Like an aggressive one. So I'd look at a build, and then I just think, how do I make the anti one of them? So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at popular net decks, they're called, so decks from the internet, and I'm making the fucking Antichrist version of that. And would you believe it? Like, lambs to the slaughter, and nearly every single day, whatever. Like, there's this one guy called Swim. Nearly every single day, he'll upload like a deck. Everyone is just making that deck or a budget version of that deck because they can't get the cards for it. And I'm just
countering it with your own.
I am
anti-deck
with my own, exactly, which I'm using my own intuition.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's no real answer online for it because it's not like a popular deck people can Google. So when you've got your own unique style of Kung Fu, how can you block it? Do you know what I mean?
It's like Ip Man. So you're the Ip Man of
I'm basically
Legends of
Runeterra. I've got a nice win-loss ratio, do you know what I mean? So I feel confident I'm at least playing at like gold level.
Yeah.
So
and you're somehow managing to do that while just relying on your own intelligence and not following what people tell you to do.
I would say... No, I wouldn't say relying on my own intelligence. I would say relying on the stupidity of others, because it doesn't take much skill to fire like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like if you see a fire deck, you don't have to be intelligent to know to do water. Do you know what I mean?
No, but
so I'm relying on
what I mean is
the predictability.
You're just going, what can I do to gain an advantage? And you're not going, what's everyone else doing? I'm going to do that to be safe. You're just kind of playing a game,
exactly.
in a way.
So the thing is, I wish I would say I'd be intelligent if I wasn't looking online at what people are doing and being reactive to it.
Yeah.
If I was completely free balling and happened to be doing great. But what I'm doing is, I'm looking in all the places where everyone's going to try and be really good.
So you're looking to see where the sheep are flocking to, and being the fucking wolf that you are.
Absolutely. And it was good, you know. So do you know what? And I've got to tell you, so Kale, friend of the channel, went to his house on Friday, and it was like we were like 15 again. Like he had his PC, I had the laptop, and we were just playing friendly games of it, you know.
Nice.
Getting our decks together, you know. He was showing me his deck, I was showing him my deck. Come on, it was great. Shout out to the audio. So I did that, So Legends of Runeterra, but I won't go any further into that.
Yeah, like I said, there's a video, and we talked about it in last week's podcast. If you missed that, if you're interested in so it's a card game by Riot
Games, they make League of Legends.
So we've covered it quite thoroughly. If you're interested in the game, have a look at the last podcast and the video that we've done on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you played anything else?
I played Not Tonight, which is like kind of I don't know. It's like a Brexit game actually.
Okay.
So it's like Paper Please or Papers Please, should I say? Sorry, that got really popular, especially with like content creators on YouTube.
I never played that. You know.
It was like, I don't know, it's like menial task simulator,
yeah.
but with a bit of an edge. Who was it? Lucas Pope made that.
Yeah,
the Oberdin guy. Yeah.
Ah, cool. All right.
It's his
well,
first
I do
game.
like that.
Yeah, that's what it was, and it was the one that really, made him go, oh. So in fact, the complete opposite of this. You're going to look at that because of Oberdin.
Yeah, sure.
Whereas most people wouldn't have gave Oberdin a chance if it wasn't for that, I'm sure. So anyway, it's kind of one of those, like menial task simulators, I call it. So in this game, you play as a doorman whose job is to ID people at the door. But there's this whole it's like Hotline Miami and Katana Zero do it, and I'm sure there's some better examples. But you've got this gameplay loop which is actually really at odds with everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
But then you go back to your house to rest at the end of each day, and then there's this little story thread that goes through it. Like Katana Zero and Hotline Miami are examples. I always come back, especially Hotline Miami, how every day after you've done your mission there's a phone call or you meet up with this NPC. So it's kind of got that running throughout it, and that's what keeps it interesting, because otherwise it's just a little bit of a, you're a doorman, you got to check the date hasn't expired.
I played a game called Punch Club. I think.
Yeah.
And that's got that exact thing in it. And it's basically a game about balancing 3 meters. I can't remember what they were, but fitness, happiness, or whatever. But the game is kind of driven by, the end of the day. There's like, conversations and phone calls and stuff like that.
That's another example. Yeah, definitely Punch Club. And another one is Beat Cop.
Which I'm pretty interested in.
Yeah, I've got that. I've been playing it actually, and it's dead similar. Again, like ultimately, you're a traffic cop.
Yeah.
And then it gets a bit like GTA, where like all the gangs want to start working with you, and But so there's this, but it's got this thread. So why is it Brexit? Because I did say that earlier, and I haven't brought it up again, and everyone's like, "What are you on about?"
Yeah.
I'm not being funny or anything. It is a game about.
Yeah.
It was made a couple of years ago when I think Brexit was announced, and it's one of these like satires, one of these people that well and truly believe Brexit is going to be the end of the world. So they've took that idea and they've run with it, and everything is like very 1984.
Okay.
Like, so you play as somebody that was born in. You can pick whether they were born in London, Birmingham, or Brighton, or something like that.
Yeah, the only 3 places in the UK.
But I think like your mum is European or something, so you're considered a European immigrant, so you're going to get kicked out unless you can pay to stay in the UK or something. So this is like it's very political, but it's clever with it. It's not being like a Brexit bad, Europe good thing in case you are like one of those people that is like really sick of that sort of thing. You don't have to worry about that, but it is going to like make fun of the pro-Brexit stance a lot. So that's all well and good for a lot of people that play games anyway. So and because of that, that's why it was getting good reviews, I think. So I was like interested in playing it for myself.
What do you think it's a good game, or?
I think it is a good game. Right. I do, but that's the thing, because I like with like a lot of the games media being very like pro-Remain, and this is like anti-Brexit game. I thought, is it getting good reviews because of that,
playing to the crowd,
or what?
Yeah.
I'll see for myself.
Yeah.
So I got it on a Nintendo Switch, and I've been playing it. It came out on Friday, which is the day that we Brexited.
Yeah.
So, and it was
there's something to be said for things arriving at the right time, isn't it? And I think that is timing.
So because the thing is, it's been out on PC for 2 years, but the Switch version came out, and it was called a Take Back Control edition. Very cheeky.
But when when movies and that come out and they feel like this is a good time for that movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes you will sort of view it as more than it is. Sometimes, and I probably would.
Absolutely, they
like
struck while the iron is hot here.
Fuck Brexit.
They did exactly. They did some very like funny marketing, taking a like they used like. Have you seen like that guy in the UK? Is his name like Cassette Boy or something? And he like chops up political speeches and makes it sound like they're saying things that they're not saying. Yeah.
I know.
So he's like that. So this is. Use like Boris Johnson speeches, and it's saying stuff like "Not today" is out on.
That's in the game.
That was the marketing campaign for it.
Oh,
it's like it's on a Twitter feed. It was like is out on. Get Brexit done and all that. Cool. So it's very funny, but it's a very cool game, and it's very cathartic if you're feeling some kind of way about Brexit. I guess.
Yeah.
So it was cool. That's what I was playing.
Nice.
And I'm Binding of Isaac, which I finally bought on Switch because it was half price, and I just need to get this out of the way. It was 38 quid on the Switch. Yeah. I bought it on day one on PC, and I bought it on day one on PS4. Mm-hmm. Those prices combined weren't 38 quid.
Yep.
38 quid. And then I was like moaning to my wife because like his next game, The End Is Nigh, was on the Switch for like 8 quid, and I was like, why is the newer game 8 quid?
The only game I can remember that has been reasonably priced from day one on the Switch ever is Hollow Knight. That was £11
because it was on a sale.
No, it was £11.
Oh, I thought. Oh, yeah,
nope,
I'm thinking of
it's
£11. Is it still £11?
That's how much it is.
I was thinking of something where it launched and it was a reasonable price on day one. Yeah. 2 weeks later, it went up 30%, and I didn't know if that was that. Like it was an introductory.
No, that
sale.
does happen a lot. Yeah, the old introductory offer.
Do you remember last week we said Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath was on the Switch?
Yeah.
I went on the eShop because I was like, I really like that game. I'll have a look.
Yeah.
28 quid.
Jesus Christ.
It's unreal.
It's for a game from 2005.
It's crazy, isn't it? Right, so I've got some thoughts on this because I've played, if you've been listening to the podcast for the last sort of 6 to 7 months, I've been playing Banner Saga. And
this really is a saga.
I'm at the end of Banner Saga 3 now. But I've got some feelings, right? Because Banner Saga, at the time, I'm sure it makes a lot of sense because, you release an indie game. You're an indie team. You're like, okay, well, this is how much game we can make in this much time, and we'll release it, and we'll get some more money and make another game and keep telling the story. By the end of Banner Saga 3, it feels like one game. It just feels like one exact. The experience is so similar from one game to the next. It doesn't evolve really, apart from some minor tweaks and stuff. The tone changes and stuff, but no more than any other RPG changes from one act to the next. You look at Divinity Original Sin. There's more content in Divinity Original Sin to start to finish than there is in Banner Saga. I really like Banner Saga.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's a bit weird that it's Banner Saga 1, 2, and 3 still, when it's clearly should just be sold as the Banner Saga.
Yeah.
And put all three of them together.
I think it was clever on their behalf because, like, so it was kickstarted.
At the time, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
At the time, it makes a lot of sense. But now,
I see.
We're beyond that, especially when they released them all on the Switch, on the eShop. And, you know, I can't remember what the exact prices are, but Banner Saga, you know, it's like between 15 and 20 quid at least, right?
Yeah, Banner Saga 1 and 2 were like a set price, and then Banner Saga 3 was double whatever the first two are.
And you get a discount on Banner Saga 3 if you own Banner Saga 1 and 2.
Clever.
You know?
Yeah.
So it kind of works, but I just found it a little bit odd that, you know, just put all three of them as one experience for 30 quid, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
That is what it is.
Like Walking Dead. You know, like that was episode 1, 2, 3. But now you can buy Walking Dead season 1.
And it's so... You know, the continuity is all the way through to the extent that it's chapter 1 through 7 is in Banner Saga 1 or whatever. Chapter 8 to 15 is in Banner Saga 2. And you start Banner Saga 3 and it says chapter 16. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's you know, it's one experience, but the way that has been modelled, I think is pretty interesting. And yeah, things on eShop are fucking
£38 though for Banner Riser. But and I was saying that, you know, give me a reason, give me an excuse to buy it, and I'll buy it for the third time. I think it's the only game I've bought now 3 times. Hotline Miami is a game I've bought twice. I don't buy games
So it's your
twice.
most owned game?
And most played game of all time.
Most owned?
Yeah, and most played, apart from Tibia. Right? It's my most... Binding of Isaac is easily my most played game of all time, and I'm very excited to say I've got it portable now.
It's cool. It changes the game, doesn't it? I wouldn't have played Banner Saga. I definitely wouldn't have sat in front of my PlayStation or at my desk on my PC and played it all the way start to finish like that. I wouldn't have done it, but I'm playing it every single night on my Switch, and I'm really enjoying it. The Switch opens up a whole fucking new world of stuff.
Animal Crossing one, man.
I might get that.
Is it out?
Everyone's doing it. Animal Crossing Switch. It's Animal Crossing actual Switch.
The new...
Not the game, but the Nintendo Switch.
I see.
It's like got like cute islanders in the back. It's a different colour scheme. It's like...
Oh no, I wouldn't buy the actual
that's
Switch.
what you're saying about.
I meant the game.
Loads of people I know are like trying to trade in their Switch to get this.
Yeah, okay.
It's like just a different colour, mate. But I just wanted to let you know. In the dock is cool. It's like got a family of Nooks, you know, Tom Nook and that. Anyway, whatever, right? Forget it. Forget about it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I try not to get too excited for it, but it sounds nice.
I fell back in love. Like I was like, I'm not getting Animal Crossing. Now I'm getting it.
Because of the strength of the way
I
the
just
Switch
had I had a good think about it, you know.
Okay. And it's out in March, is it?
Yeah. Same day as Doom.
Yeah. And I know where my money's going.
Imagine you're a kid and you're like, you know, I can't go for both. But then you go for both.
I'm going to go
Liam's going for both.
Well, there's jokes online already of saying like Doom guy will face his greatest enemy, Tom Nook's mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you know, the online jokes about it, it's like, leave Animal Crossing alone, guys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a bit like, you know, the Steam sale, hide your wallets kind of stuff in it. It's like...
listen, Tom Nook's a big spender. We get it.
yeah, exactly.
But I'm actually, I'm back on board.
Cool.
And we'll see how that changes if Neo comes out and I'm, you know, in full like Souls mode.
Yeah, focused.
I think I'm gonna go.
I played a couple of other games this week though. I've played. Well, I guess I'll do Journey to the Savage Planet first because
it's new.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's new. It's brand new, but it's pretty funny. Like you said, like the sense of humor and stuff in you know, the Brexit game.
Yeah.
This is
not today or tonight. I can't remember what it's
not
called.
Today or tonight.
The Brexit. Let's just call it the Brexit game. You're right. I shouldn't have doubted
the Brexit game.
Yeah.
It's like a board game. You know, you can see that in W.H. Smith, can't you?
Yeah.
Just
Hasbro
the Brexit
bring it
game
out next week.
Yeah. So Journey to the Savage Planet is pretty weird, man. It's a pretty weird game, and I say that in the way that it's like its own like weight class of game. You know, like a boxer who comes along and he's like not quite fucking huge, but he's and it's like 12 hours long.
All right.
Something like that. But it feels a bit like Far Cry when you're playing it like mechanically, but the world and stuff it's I'll start from the top, I guess. So you're a It's in first person game, but it's not a shooter. It's a lot like No Man's Sky in the kind of scanning things and
exploration, I guess.
Yeah, and it's basically they've taken that very first sort of 5-hour chunk of No Man's Sky where your ship has crashed and you want to do it up and you need to repair it and get off the planet. That's what basically the whole game's about. So you're on an alien planet, and you start inside your ship, so you can kind of walk around. It's a space that you can walk around in.
Oh, okay.
But it's got these really funny, like like real life kind of filmed adverts in there, so that every time you respawn, there's like a new advert for something or like a video message
like
from
Wall-E.
Command. Yeah, and it's really funny stuff. Like it's at first, like whenever anyone says this game's funny, I'm such a prick, right? So I'm like, oh, is it? Yeah, like go on then, make me laugh. But I have been enjoying it. It's got a really good sense of humour, and it's got like that it's taken loads of different ingredients from loads of different like sci-fi type games. It's got that like Borderlands kind of robotic female voice talking in your ear all the time about stuff and telling you what to do. Really like straightforward puzzle solving stuff. And it reminded me weirdly of like Spyro the Dragon, of like you've got quite an open space,
and
the cartoonishness and the colourful,
it is very
colourful.
Like you just need to look at the pictures and you get like
cute creatures and things, and it reminded me weirdly of Spyro the Dragon. And then the game sort of focuses on the fact that there's this giant tower just in the middle of this, which again is very like 2000s 90s platformer vibe, Banjo-Kazooie kind of Gruntilda's kind of so it's an interesting setup, and it's a mishmash of loads of different stuff. Like I've checked out Far Cry, No Man's Sky, Spyro the Dragon.
It's heavy with tropes by the sounds of it.
But it's quite enjoyable. It's quite relaxing. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's got a good sense of humour.
Yeah.
There's more shooting in it than I expected.
Okay.
But it's good.
Is there a lot of crafting elements to it? Is it mostly like is it craft and survival type thing?
No, it's not like No Man's Sky has gone down this very scientific, combining elements and crafty, Minecrafty stuff. Yeah, it's gone down that route. Whereas this game it focuses on the joy of like, what's that weird thing?
Exploration.
And when you scan it, instead of getting like a load of like biological details about height and weight, and you get like a Pokemon card, and the woman and like
really?
and
that
like
sounds cool,
and the fucking the robot voice tells you about them and what their personalities are and how they're different to the kind of the desert variant of the one that you've already scanned kind of thing.
So there's a lot of like the heavy lifting there done by this voice in your head.
Yeah, and just the general like charm of the game is what kind of I can imagine, like you for example, you're a bit more picky with like personality. Right? So,
Go on.
I think that it could maybe be aggravating if you don't tune into it.
I know what you mean. It's like Outer Worlds was like that for me, for example.
Yeah.
Like, I know what you mean. Like, sometimes it can either really charm me or it can be a bit like Deadpool grated on me, right?
Yeah, and it's not. But it's really like it's good. It's well observed, like a lot of it, and it takes the mick out of general sci-fi stuff, but also video gamey ideas and things.
This is the more I'm hearing about it, because I made the point of not asking you about it. I think because I wanted to hear this.
Yeah, we don't want to hear the sound of my voice apart from when you actually.
Well, no, it's the beauty of WhatsApp is I don't have to, isn't it? I just read your words, and you're quite eloquent. But I was, and now I'm like, I'm in for this. Yeah, it sounds good.
And the best thing about it, like I said, it's about 10-12 hour game. It's £20. I got it on, I got a physical copy for £20.
Did you?
Yeah.
On PS4?
Good. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So I regretfully can't remember who made it, but I should have looked at that before we started recording. But Journey to the Savage Planet.
Perfect World.
I'm not sure. Well, they're former Far Cry devs.
Oh, really?
There's some Far Cry talent in there, which is kind of what explains that setup and the criticism of it. I've seen the best review I've seen is there's a guy on IGN called Joe Screbbles or something.
Yeah, I know.
But he's flipping good, man. He's a good reviewer.
It's Typhoon from Montreal, and 505 published it.
Okay.
So the last game that they published was
Control.
Control. Yeah.
Right. So they, it's and
hey, you know what? They're a Google subsidiary. The developers.
Right.
Owned by Google.
Okay. Cool. Well, Joe Screbbles' review on IGN is really good. So if you want to know a bit more, have a look at that, I reckon. But he was a bit more critical of it, and mechanically, it's sort of it is a bit like I can see how you'd look at it and think, well, this is like a Far Cry, like Far Cry New Dawn or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
Like a Far Cry 0.5. So, yeah, I can see how you would look at it and play it and think, this is a little bit like a slimmed down, not as good Far Cry clone. But I think it's more the personality of the game, and also like if you think you're into the idea of being crashed on a planet and you've got, what do you do in that situation? And if you buy into that sort of idea, I think it's more interesting than just being a Far Cry clone.
Yeah. Well, that sounds great.
Thanks.
But I've just read something that's kind of disheartened me, so now I'm listening to the story.
Please reply.
Like when you're watching a film and you're seeing someone go from height to height, but you know they're going to die at the end.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen the news recently about Google Stadia? Like at the time the articles were being written, it had been out for 69 days, and like
Stadia.
Yeah, it is going somewhere, I promise. And like they hadn't had an update in 40 days.
Yeah.
And the game, and it had only been out for 6 days. You know what I mean? And now recently they've come out and said, "Oh well, it's game developers and publishers' fault." Well, this is made by Typhoon Studios, who's a Google subsidiary, and Google acquired them to make games for Stadia exclusively. But because they were halfway through Savage Planet, that wasn't part of the acquisition. But from now on, these talented bunch that made Savage Planet are detained exclusively to the platform of Google Stadia.
That's disappointing.
That's what I mean. That's why I couldn't hear you speak in good faith without having to break it to you that shit, purgatory. It's do you know what as well? Yeah, this Stadia thing has been pissing me off a little bit. But by the way, I want to hear more.
It's like Last Samurai, isn't it? You think they're going to make it? They're going to do it. They're going to make it, and then they all just get machine gunned.
I'm really, really, really looking forward to Orcs Must Die 3. Okay?
Yeah,
like really, really like Orcs Must Die, and I think it's like
we should. Do you know what we should do? Yeah, we should create like a fan forum. We should create a subreddit and a website dedicated to Orcs Must Die, because no one else is flying the flag.
Honestly, it is.
That probably exists.
It is. Honestly,
you're not alone in the universe.
Please, it's the best 79p you'll ever spend. Yeah, get Orcs Must Die. It's fucking like it's wave-based defense game. It's really good.
Co-op.
It's a lot of fun. It's got traps. Mate, it's sick. But that is a Stadia exclusive, and now these talented bunch are working for a Stadia exclusive.
Yeah.
But yes. So the sad news is 66% of Google's existence, Google Stadia's existence, should I say? There's been nothing. There's been no update, no new games.
Well, that's not really a surprise, is it? I can't see it. I couldn't see it before it came out, and I can't see it now.
I must say, I was really kindly given by one of our patrons, actually, 3 months of Google Stadia.
Yeah.
I played Destiny on it for a little bit. I was really looking forward to telling everybody about the new Stadia games that they announced. I was going to play it day one and then mention it in a podcast, so it would be like a cool thing, But I've been waiting. I don't think I've told anyone I've got a Stadia because I've been waiting to go, well, guess what? But it's happened. And I was given Stadia in December.
Like you've not had any.
I've not had any new game to play.
Yeah.
So I could play Tomb Raider, but fuck that. Destiny, which I'm very, very familiar with.
Yeah.
So I played like literally the tutorial bit, and I'm well over and over it. And it was actually quite smooth. I was playing it on PC, but you know me, I'm a bit of a console peasant, so it could have been fucking 30 FPS for all I know.
Yeah, probably was.
Yeah. So I was looking forward to maybe they've got like a shit hot indie or whatever.
That's what they need.
Haven't fucking booted it up after playing Destiny because I've been waiting for the big reveal on the podcast. And now look at this. It's just kind of flummoxed out the gate.
Yeah. It seems like they've just sort of abandoning ship to some extent already. Because I'm only saying that because of what you just said there. There's been a big gap and they've kind of blamed other people because there's been a big gap in...
So I wonder what happens now then with these exclusive things. I wonder what those contracts are like for so Typhoon. So they've just made this game. It's really cool. But now, whatever the next project is confined to this platform, which is going nowhere fast.
The Google Store.
Yeah,
the Google launcher.
Exactly. So it's a bit of a weird one.
That'll be the next thing.
I don't know.
The Google launcher. Yeah, man. I can see it inside. It features Google search functionality for faster results of your games library. That's the sort of shit that they are peddling.
Yeah,
it is, isn't it? With built-in fucking Google Assistant or whatever, their equivalent.
Okay, Google,
Alexa.
play Warcraft 3.
Speaking of, Jake just winked at me for the benefit of people listening.
That was a lobby in there, wasn't it? Head written like.
So I've been playing Warcraft 3, as Jake just smoothly segued into. So
proud of that one,
Warcraft 3 has just had its kind of Warcraft 3 Reforged launch thing. So this was available as like a multiplayer, beta or whatever for a little while.
Yeah.
So people could get a sense of what it was going to be. But then Warcraft 3 Reforged, full launch, the full campaigns and stuff are in there. And, people were furious for some reason, for a few reasons. But they're a bit like, around the game kind of reasons. And they're reasons like, if you already own Warcraft 3, well, all of the changes that are brought in with Warcraft 3 Reforged also apply to Warcraft 3, so to make it consistent between the two games. The idea being that you can play multiplayer between the two versions of the game, right? And there's actually an option in the menu of Warcraft 3 Reforged if you want classic or Reforged mode, right? Fine, whatever. I don't care about any of that sort of stuff. So I'm coming in from the outside. I've not touched Warcraft 3 since I was probably 12. I don't know when it came out.
So you're familiar with the original and probably more familiar with the idea of it than the actual.
Absolutely, yeah. It wasn't. Warcraft was not my. I feel like when everyone was saying Warcraft 3 was the best RTS ever, I was saying Total Annihilation was the best RTS ever, and I'm cleverer than everyone else because that's the truth, right? Total Annihilation.
Yeah. You should join me for this Runeterra 2v2s, mate. You can join me. The 300 IQ club.
The Total Annihilation, honestly, is the best fucking strategy game ever, right? But anyway, Warcraft 3 Reforged is, I'm enjoying it. Like it's good. It's good. It's not. It's just basic stuff. It's stuff that I would want. It was stuff that if I wanted to play an old RTS game or any PC game for that matter, I would want this stuff in there, and that's why I would do what Liam does and get mods and stuff. Yeah. Widescreen, things like that.
Actually, widescreen
and like resin up textures and shit like that, and improving animations and stuff. That's in there. What isn't in there is UI changes. The UI is exactly the same as it was, and it just looks old. It looks gash.
I really want to know what's happened with this. I really do, because they were showing off this 2 years ago. Have you seen this? Have you seen it? They 2 years ago at BlizzCon in 2018, they were showing off the game, and they were showing off the cinematics side by side. And
completely remade, weren't they?
Completely remade. But
so there's a big thing about this. Yeah, sorry.
But that's been taken out.
Yeah.
Something has happened internally, hasn't it? I don't know if support had been pulled and they've kept their promise, and then there's been fanfare for it or what, but something's happened. Something's weird gone on there. Like the UI was different in 2018 as well.
Yeah.
But the version it's rolled out. So I think that's what's got people annoyed more than anything, is that they're things that people have seen.
Yeah.
So it's not a downgrade, it's a complete retraction of features that were previously 2 years ago shown working.
Yeah.
So what's happened there?
I think it's difficult to recommend on the whole if you already own Warcraft 3 and have played it in the last sort of 5 years, maybe. You just. But for me, I didn't own it. I didn't own a copy of it and whatever. So it made sense for me to get it, and it does work for me. Like mechanically, it's just solid, and it's dated mechanics in a lot of ways. But you can see, how the it's weird as well because it's so solid and so good, and it's influenced so many things after it that it feels generic when you play it, and but you kind of know that's because it was one of the first ones doing it, especially like the aesthetics of like having that like high fantasy. Every single fucking mobile game has just taken the look of Warcraft.
Yeah, absolutely.
To just
I suppose
daylight robbery levels of copying it and stuff.
Yeah,
it's got some of the worst voice acting I have ever heard in a game. And
shouts out Two Worlds.
But 2003 was a different time.
Yeah, it's honestly, they just sound like programmers. They just sound like just flat American accents who are just like, hey, let's go do this now. Okay. And it's just really big long pauses between words and shit like that, and it's the best, right? But like mechanically, it's solid, and it's just a very straightforward RTS. And if you've played any amount of RTS games and you've never played Warcraft, that's probably the best recommendation I can. In that instance, I can say, pick it up. It's worth it for that. To know your roots.
That's what I love as well, isn't it? That I guess that's why everyone's whinging online, and quite rightly, I guess, is because you can only recommend it to people that haven't played it. Because if you have played it,
it's impossible. Because it's just not. It's not a remaster. Reforged is an interesting word because it's such like a fudging of what is it. It's because it's not I would even say it's difficult to describe it as a remaster to a certain extent.
Well, yeah, like,
because it's like
some things are just so complicated. Like the UI is the same, but have you seen that? Have you heard about the main menu thing?
No.
The main menu is a web application that opens up your browser and runs an instance of that. So when you're playing a game, it's opening up your Google Chrome and running a web application inside that. So like, there's people that have got like the game's running 25% of their CPU. The main menu's running 100% of their CPU because it's opening up instances of Chrome. So something has seriously gone wrong with this development team, and I bet you it's a hell of a story.
I know it's like stuff.
Can't wait till Jason Schreier writes about it.
Yeah, please.
I saw people saying as well, like custom maps and stuff are broken in it, and that was like such a big thing in Warcraft 3 where people got to make their own, like Dota came from Warcraft 3 as a mod, didn't it?
Well,
but all of these like maps that Blizzard said they'll work in Reforged day one.
Yeah.
Now they've even I think they've taken the main menu option away from it.
Yeah.
So you can't even, and all the modders are getting harassed to fix their maps and stuff like that.
It's because the thing as well, isn't it? Like there was that small print that like someone on Reddit has found, and that's like blown up big time.
Oh yeah, anything you make Blizzard own.
Yeah, because of stuff like Dota, you have to. Yeah, your rights to the game are
their moral rights.
Your moral and human rights are stripped. So in a case that your country protects you from having to give away the rights to your game, then you concede your moral and human rights in those cases. So if you're in a country that look like if you're in the EU, don't want to talk about it, that protects your human rights, well, sucker, this small print tells you that you have to give that up.
Okay.
And so
that's because of Blizzard getting like screwed out of Dota, didn't they? Because they tried to say they owned the Dota trademark.
Yeah.
And then Valve obviously came along and were like, well, we're making Dota with the original Dota creator.
And that's
and
a
there was
moral
a massive
right.
legal battle.
So
about
there's
it.
this whole and it's so extra because it's like, of course, it's about everything else about Blizzard. Blizzard are like the absolute pinata of the.
That's what I meant. Yeah, it's stuff that's around the game, but then it comes through in the experience in different ways, and it just I can well imagine that they will keep at it because they're that kind of company, and after Diablo 3 and stuff, transformation of that game, how many times has Diablo 3 changed beyond recognition in some cases,
and
so I can well see
Overwatch,
this.
Like they do follow things up, don't they?
It feels like they're just trying to make the game relevant again. And as a platform on their, on Battle.net, it sits there alongside all the other games that they've got, and it's one of them that they'll keep working at.
Yeah,
hopefully,
I know what you mean, and it's a tough one, isn't it? Because like by looks of it, I've seen people playing it on Twitch, but it looks shit. But everyone who's saying it's shit. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people saying it's shit are saying it's shit because of everything surrounding the game. So it's almost like I'm always leaning towards like give them a break, but then sometimes you've kind of got to go.
You can't deny, right, that it's a solid strategy game. It's got a really generic high fantasy story, but it's got cool races.
Yeah.
It's got cool the like just flicking between your base and your army and having multiple groups of stuff doing different things and. Like creating reinforcements and sending us reinforcements to help out where your army is and stuff. It's so easy and so quick, and you can see it being like that kind of StarCraft fucking actions per minute kind of game. The actual bread and butter of it is good. It's solid.
Yeah.
But it's not as good as Battle for Middle-earth 2. So let's
That's all you need to
read some emails because I'm bored of talking now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Put on a voice for the email if you want.
Dear Special Moves, if you want to send us an email, our inbox is dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. Thank you everyone who sends them in. Really, really appreciate it. They all do get read. But send us an email and we'll have a little chat about it. So this one is from Vad from Melbourne. I don't actually know what the full name is. VAD. There you go. Dear Special Moves, big fan of the podcast. Enjoy listening to it every week.
Oh, thanks very much.
Thank you.
I have a question about the new generation of consoles coming out this year. I'm not sure if you've discussed the potential prices yet, but I just wanted to know your thoughts. Personally, I think the PS5 will be $500, the Xbox Series S $400, and the Series X $600 plus. Some other outlets are saying $400 for the PS5 and Series X, and even less for the powerful Xbox. I personally don't think they can go this low with all the new next-gen components. Cheers. Vad from Melbourne.
I'm just going to have a little look at the Australian dollar conversion Brexit just happened, so our economy is a bit weird at the moment. But at this point, to my mind, I reckon it'd be £450,
Quid.
which is 887 Australian dollars. VAT.
Yeah.
So I don't know how.
Unless VAD is going by American dollars, which is
Yes. So if that is the case, yeah, they get it a bit better because £450 is just shy of $600.
Yeah.
But normally the Americans get a good deal and it'll be like 500.
it's gonna, whatever it is. Yeah, it's gonna. The exchange rate is not going to be favourable to us at all. Like it's
No,
going to
you
be.
do get fucked.
We're going to be. I'm looking at 450, 500 quid. I'm accepting that. I think it's going to be that high.
Because like a game in America is like $60, yeah. But it's like £55 here, which is like nearly $72.
Yeah. It's games and gaming in general it feels expensive at the moment.
Yeah.
It does feel expensive. Like I
Absolutely.
think I think the price of a console is you look how much is a PS4 Pro now, like still 300, 350.
Yeah, about that.
It's got to be like maybe I would say 350 quid with a game probably bundled in is probably an average, right? Yeah, honestly. And Xbox One X is the most expensive you can get at the moment, right?
Yeah.
How much is that?
Don't know.
I think I saw one on like Christmas deals for like $399. I want to say.
Fucking hell.
400 quid just on its own.
Yeah.
No, I think you got 2 games of it.
Okay.
I got an
Digital
Xbox
ones,
One S for my sister-in-law for £80.
Yeah, Xbox One S on the other hand is what a bargain that is.
80
That's
quid.
very, very
Cheaper
good.
than 2 games, isn't it?
Yeah, an Xbox One S is probably, if you're not playing any games whatsoever at the moment and you're kind of interested in playing some games, probably the best thing you can do. Pick up an Xbox One S.
You get an Xbox One S, you get Game Pass with it, you get like 3 games
For a
with it.
quid for like 3 months or something.
Yeah.
You know, it actually comes bundled with it. Like, you get like 6 months of Game Pass Ultimate.
With it, right.
yeah, with the 80 quid, yeah. So then you can top up for a quid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's power. So, yeah, you get like some sick games on there as well. Yeah, like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and Witcher. And
loads of great indie games. Some of them,
So,
all the Microsoft
maybe you should just be
exclusives.
patient. Innit? But yeah, I reckon they'll go. I reckon it can't be more than 500 quid. That's ludicrous. But
I
it'll
don't.
be like-
Well, they tried that with the PS3
Yeah.
and did not go well for them.
everyone leaks online are saying it'll be 450, and I reckon that's a fair price.
I'm braced for that. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do with my PS4 Pro. If it's fully backwards compatible, the Pro's going, and that'll make a dent in it. That'll help me out a little bit. But
eBay must be quite.
naturally.
Yeah.
But the price, I think we're all agreed. Really, it's not going to be. It's not going to be cheap. And I think the competition across the board is going to be interesting. Like how the Xbox is going to reflect, how the different models of the consoles and stuff. It's going to be like one of the most complicated launches for
it's
systems.
like buying
I
a
think.
phone.
Yeah,
Which is what they said years ago it was going to be like, and they were right. So
Yeah.
about 450, which is like how many Australian dollars was that? 700.
I don't know.
Fucking.
I know
We'll check.
Australia have a bad time with gaming. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's crazy, isn't it? But thanks for the email, Vad. We've got another one here from Ronald with an A, who says, Dear Special Moves, I've been thinking recently about how games influence my upbringing, as I have 3 older brothers and learned to play games as a toddler. They had a ZX Spectrum and an Atari ST, both of which I could set up and change the cassette/floppies before I started school. Now that my daughter is 3, I've been trying to figure out what games we could play together, or what might be age appropriate and fun for her. But all I can find is along the lines of Paw Patrol. Any suggestions? Keep up the great work. Cheers, Ronald.
All right, Ronald, I got you covered. Right, number 1, you want to get on Common Sense Media, which sounds like very.
It's like YouTube network.
It's like the anti-mumsnet. It's like it's the real parents fucking guide. Like something says something's a 15. It's like realistically, how many people watched 15s when they were like 12 and it was fine?
Yeah.
It's about common sense shit like that. So what I'm saying is like, if a game says it's 8 and upwards, your kids could probably play it when they're like 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a really good way of looking at why things are that as well. It's a very clear and concise way of finding stuff out. So like, I don't know, like Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle is like a 12, but why? And you can go on it and it'll say like there's one mention of the word ass or whatever. So you can make those assumptions. So and it's also got a games section which is fantastic for things like that. So it'll mention like jump scares or gore or swearing or mild peril, which is my favourite.
I was going to say that. Mild threat is one I've seen.
Yeah,
What's that?
which, by the way, amazing Xbox username.
Yeah. Fuck, I got by mild threat.
That's like the evolution of minor threat, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the new punk band.
Yeah. As they're getting older, yeah.
They've elevated.
So, Common Sense Media is a really good way of like establishing what's good for your kid personally. Like what I mean is
That's like the start of a fucking pre-video advert. Common Sense Media is a really good way of establishing.
It's true. So like I'll give you like so my daughter's 8, yeah, but she has like a high tolerance for scary stuff, right?
All right.
But she's an anxious person. So what I mean is like she doesn't mind watching spooky things or things that are like some kids would be scared of. But when she's terrified of being bad at stuff. So like Crash Bandicoot, she gets her hands on it, she'll fall and die, and then she'll get scared of doing it again. She's scared of the failure, but she laughs when I fall down a hole and die. So it's one of them. So, do you mean? So like your kid might be the opposite. Like not like as a kid, I wasn't afraid to die on these games. I'd keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
She's not like that. That's the thing. See, but I, might have easily scared. So. That's the number one thing you need to do. Go on Common Sense Media and have a look, and that can help you establish. Because, like, when Ellie was 4, I was playing... I tell you what we used to play. Tearaway Unfolded, we played together, and that was good. Because that game, like, you can control it. Like, you can be the conduit, and, like, she can be the designer. Stuff like that. Stuff where your kid can have an input, maybe, if she's not feeling confident or he's not feeling confident with the controls. Something like that. That might be a good way of getting them at least interested in it. So Tearaway is cool because you can kind of draw designs and then they come to life and shit. And then we were playing Star Wars Battlefront, the original Star Wars Battlefront, the dogfight mode, where
the original,
the 2015
2015 one.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
I know. I thought that was an interesting choice that you'd gone back to 2004.
Yeah. It's like calling the
whatever
prequels the original trilogy, isn't it? 1, 2, and 3. But yeah, so we used to play the dogfight mode of Star Wars Battlefront 2015, and
that's cool. That's an interesting.
So I used to control and used to get the ships in my sights, and then she'd sit on my knee, and then she'd press the trigger to shoot them and kill them.
Where you've created that co-op kind of
exactly.
thing
So
there.
I was controlling the movement, and then I was saying, all right, Els, kill him. Press the square button.
Sick 'em,
boys. Yeah. So he was getting, and then so that's what we used to do, and now,
I think you can't look much further than a Nintendo Switch as well, because there's a lot of games on there that are, you can split the Joy-Cons in half, so one Joy-Con, and there's like 2 inputs on there, just one button, and and there's loads of games that are
Mario Party. That's like a big hit in our house.
Absolutely. Well, there's a lot of games of that ilk, isn't there, where it's just kind of a bunch of different fun things to do that are just kind of knockoffs.
Overcooked, though.
Yeah.
Well, I know like Mario Kart's got like assist mode and stuff for the
game.
Yes, Mario Kart.
They want to play, but they can't quite figure out the controls.
Yeah.
They like do auto steering and stuff.
It can do auto steering and accelerating, so they can just focus on the weaponization of shells. Or, if they prefer to accelerate themselves and not steer, that's amazing. Like I say, like Ellie's really anxious about, losing or whatever on games and
it's
that.
like bowling with the things down the side of the aisle.
And she's on like 100cc now, right, on Mario Kart or whatever, which is fucking noob shit, that, isn't it? But you know what I mean. But yeah, that's a really good one. The Switch is fantastic, but it's a bit flimsy, isn't it? If you've got a 4-year-old, so be careful.
True.
Yeah,
that's true. But thanks for the email, Ronaldo. Hope that helps. Thanks for the email, Vad, as well. If you've got an email, send them into dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. So let's have a look at the new games that are coming out this week. There's only a couple, really, as has been true of the last few weeks.
I feel like it is picking up, though, somehow.
It is slowly, yeah. Last week was quite good because, Warcraft and Runeterra you got going, and there's a few things going on.
That'll be me now, that's it.
What about Zombie Army 4 Dead War, which is coming to PC, PS4 and Xbox One on February the 4th? Can that pry you away from
Nah, I'm not asking about this. Like the company that have been developing it sponsored a couple of events I went to in the summer and in the winter. So
they do seem to be whenever I've not been to that many, but whenever I've been to a games thing, there does seem to be a big fucking strange brigade or whatever, or you know, and
It's because they're like a UK staple of games development.
maybe, yeah,
Like,
that's
they
could be
sponsored-
what it is, yeah.
I went to Twitch London in December, and then like the VIP mixer beforehand, they sponsored that, and it's like everyone's there drinking for free, and then it's like you just got these adverts like this zombie shop. Popping up.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is like it's been thrust in front of me in many different places, and I still can't.
Oh dear.
Say what's I know, yeah, no, that's what it feels like. I'm like, get it away from me. I don't.
I'm sorry to bring it up again. Get it away from me. But I know that.
No, but
mentioned it,
listen,
mate.
here's the thing, yeah, like Sniper Elite, it looks really like cookie cutter and boring, yeah.
Which it is.
Well, do you know what? I played it. I was quite
quite
into
like
it.
them.
I was quite when you play watching it doesn't look good, and you see you have it, and you're like, oh, you can shoot someone's. But when you play it, it's actually quite fun. I think.
Where did you come in? What was the
I
first
came
one
in
you
on the
played?
PlayStation Plus free game.
Which was 3, I think.
Yeah, I played 2 was the first.
I played 1 and I liked it on PC. I played 2 and I liked it on PC. I didn't play 3, and then I played 4 for maybe a couple of hours, and I was well and truly over
You're
for
done.
me.
Right,
yeah,
well, you're a
because-
vet, aren't you?
Well, there's a big map and loads of things, and go here and shoot this guy and do this and do. It's just, you know, it wasn't very compelling apart from.
What ones have they added?
Unless you
Zombies
like
and
ticking.
sharks.
No.
All right,
No.
well that's not then.
I had a little think about it. I was genuinely thinking about that then.
Yeah.
But no.
I think there's sharks. I hope there is. Because where have I got that from? If not,
Yeah, because it's not in a title.
Maybe I had
Zombie
too much
Army
to drink
4
that night,
and
yeah.
Sharks Dead War. So that's happening anyway. All the best to the people who made it.
Yeah.
The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics is coming the same day
right.
to PC,
So-
Switch, PS4 and Xbox.
This is a bit of a Liam special, I think.
I'm not going to play this game.
All right,
You're
let's
not?
end
No.
the podcast.
But it's based on the recent Netflix show.
Which
Dark
you liked.
Crystal, Age of Resistance. Yeah, which I liked
Yeah.
an awful lot.
And it's on the Xbox, which you have.
Yeah, it's a tactics game. Come
Yeah.
on.
That's it, tactics games. I'm not a big fan of them.
No.
Oh.
But I don't know. I
Nearly
mean,
got him.
Netflix have been on this weird kick where they've been trying to make tie-in games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, they did the Stranger Things
Yeah.
one that was like a Sega beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I don't know if this will be any good.
I mean, you know, tactics game usually
I thought
I'm
this was
interested
already
in.
out, but like on PC, and this is.
they showed it off at a Nintendo Direct a while ago. Like a long time
Could just be
ago.
that it's
Like,
out on the consoles and that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also out on PC.
And is that all we've got? Like,
That's all we got this week. Yeah, last week I actually missed something last week. I missed Journey to the Savage Planet last week, I think.
yeah.
Oh, right.
You
which I
can't
didn't
get them all,
mention.
can
That
you?
wasn't- No, but that wasn't on the lists. So what am I going to do about that? Do you know what I mean? Nothing. I can't.
Well, we'll find out what you missed next
Yeah.
week's podcast then.
Thanks
go to
to everyone who
somewhere else.
supports us on Patreon. We have got a bonus podcast which we're going to record shortly after some cheese on toast. So we'll be talking about some movies. Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
But a good one.
Which one?
The Longest
I'll
Yard.
let you figure out.
Yeah. See you for the Billy Madison special.
Yeah. So if you're a patron, look forward to that. If not, we'll see you again next week for another podcast. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.